Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Odin's Movie Blog. I am the critic who is a cynic. How is everyone doing this evening? Happy Saturday to everyone out there. And oh my goodness, what a crazy week. It was crazy because in so many ways it was absolutely insane. But I am so glad to be here on this Saturday night stream. We've got a few things to talk about. I'm very sorry that there was not a show link an hour beforehand like there normally is. In fact, I was an hour and a half early, technically, getting the show link out, but because of all the recent stuff on the channel that happened a few days ago, for those that have not seen the video, I cover how I essentially unlisted all of my videos and then relisted all of my videos, which made all of those videos that had never been listed, especially old live streams that I used to unlist all the time before they fully processed. It meant all of those videos went into everyone's subscription feeds. And so some people were freaking out, even in the comments, what the hell is going on? You've taken over my feed. A couple people were excited about it, saying, oh man, this is great. This never happened before. This is phenomenal. Odin's taking over my stream. Odin's taking over my channel. And of course, many others were very, and rightfully so, mad and unsubscribed from the channel. About 30 people unsubscribed from the channel because of that error. But because of all that unlisting, relisting, etc., my live streaming tab, for some reason, had the link as unlisted, which is why it was not visible beforehand. And I thought I was doing great. I was just playing some Spider-Man on the PS4, which, oh my goodness, it's an addicting game because of all the fighting mechanics and the swing mechanics. You get to swing from the city, and it's a very good representation of New York City. And I'm kind of interested just to go off on my own and just kind of relive my experiences of when I lived in New York, when going to college up there. And so I kind of want to be able to take that time. But every single time I'm trying to adventure, something new pops up. And I want to be able to get different coins and tokens and such. So that way I can upgrade some stuff. But if you have any idea what I'm talking about, because you've played PS4 Spider-Man, you'll know exactly everything that I'm describing right now. But needless to say, it's been a freaking crazy, crazy week, but I'm glad to be back here in Asgard, and I'm glad that everyone is here and is well. Just a couple of things. We need to shout out Captain Darkstar57 over on DLive. I don't know if he's here yet, but Captain Darkstar57 is celebrating a 4-month anniversary sub streak. So he's been subscribed over to my DLive channel now for 4 months. So thank you, Captain Darkstar. I appreciate that. And Captain Mr. Roy, thank you for your 3-month sub streak over there. You're awesome. And we got Mr. Peabody in the chat over there as well. Mr. Peabody, it has been too long, good sir. I feel like I have not seen your name in the chat recently, and maybe that's just me going crazy after the crazy week, but I'm glad to see your name in here nonetheless. So we've got Aiden Vickery in here. We got Tina and Steph. How is it going, my Valks? Slice of Neon Soul Assassin. Let's see. I saw a Timothy in there before the chat. Timothy Varandier is here. Father Christopher Miller. Hail, Father and Father. The gift that I have for you for Christmas is ready. So please DM me on Twitter, since I know that that's where we can contact each other, where you want me to send the gift. You know exactly what I'm talking about. So that is finished. The burning is done. So please let me know where I should send those. Super Anime Gamer says, heyo, what is up, my dude? How are you this evening? I am doing just fine. Frey is a little bit sick, so I've been taking some vitamin C to try and avoid me getting sick, even though I tend not to, because my overall, I don't know how, but my genes allow me to resist a lot of different common colds and things like that. Unless it's back pain, which I've been dealing with a lot lately. I tend to be pretty immune to those types of things. Alice McCarthy says, howdy, Odin. How's it going? Just laying here watching Return of Jafar. Also, hashtag Solo lost money. Yes, this is your minute-by-minute reminder that Solo, a Star Wars story, lost money. If you watch Friday Night Tights, you know exactly what that's a reference to. But Return of Jafar, talk about a sequel that I both love and hate at the same time. I have fond memories of watching that movie, but also you had the genie without Robin Williams. So again, it's a love-hate relationship for me. HyperX13 says, hey dude, so I finally got to watch Irishman. Not bad, I really liked it, minus the CGI elements and some stiffy looking fight scenes. Kind of long, but overall great movie, 9 out of 10. Yeah, I'm right there with you. I gave it a solid A. It's not an A+ for me, and a lot of it has to do with the fact that I probably wouldn't rewatch it anytime soon, at the very least. Though with Scorsese's longer films, I feel like the longer I'm removed from them, the more I want to watch them. For example, I've recently been rewatching Silence by Martin Scorsese, And, as a Catholic, as a religion teacher, you all know why that would be. If you've seen it or know anything about it, you know why that would connect with me. It's a story about two Jesuit missionaries in Japan during a time in which the Japanese overlords, like the Japanese rulers, were very anti-Christian and would kill Christians and try to convert priests so that the people could see it and then convert themselves back to the pagan faith. And it's a very powerful film. It's about doubts about faith, questions about faith, but also it shows the power of faith by many of these Japanese Christians that give up their life. In fact, many of them have stronger faith than the Jesuit missionary who it focused on, played by Andrew Garfield, brilliantly by Andrew Garfield. And it's a beautiful film, and I love it to death. And so I've been rewatching it, and when I first saw it, though, I remember I fell asleep towards the very end of it. And so, as I said, the longer I've been removed from it, the more I've wanted to rewatch. I think The Irishman will be the same way, because there's so many things that he does in every single scene. I mean, Scorsese is no slouch. Everything Scorsese does is intentional, and that's the reason why you can, even his longer films, you can rewatch them over and over again and get something new out of it every single time. Jumping over to D-Live, Colt Rayner is here. Mr. Peabody says, Norse gods have no time for mortal infections. You're damn right about that. Phonemo, how's it going? Good, sir. But I'm glad that you liked it, Hypernext13. Laura, Ryan Stole My Fan Fiction Story is here. How is it going, Laura? Hope you are doing just fine. All right, let's see. Chat jumped on me once again, like it always does. You know how it goes. Tina says, I didn't even know that video stuff was happening. I would have just figured you'd hit the wrong button or something. No sweat. Well, I'm glad that it didn't affect you too much. I know some people who have email notifications on got about 40 emails, I think was the highest number of emails I heard. So yeah, 40 emails about new videos going live. Yeah, I could see why that would be kind of kind of driving people a little bit crazy. Greta, what is going on? Greta is here. Greta Zenner says, hello, Odin and everyone. That's 2 streams in a row, Greta. Don't make a habit out of it. It's almost like you're back, and I'm appreciating it. Keep making those videos, Greta. I personally love them. And as I said before, and I'm going to keep on saying it until it happens, Greta and Tina need to collab. Tina needs to start her own channel, and then Greta and Tina should go back and forth on each other's channel, because movie history right there in the making, because it's going to be all about movie history. And I will watch those videos every single day. So, you heard it here first. J Money J, thank you very much for the $10 super chat. Says, hey Odin, in your opinion, in Rise of Skywalker, when it comes out to Rey being uber powerful on a scale of 1 to 100, how much of a Mary Sue do you think Rey will be? When this film comes out, well, the trailers seem to indicate, I think it's more of a tease than actual reality, that she's going to receive some type of training, some form of training in some way. So I would say if every film so far has been her at 100, which I think is pretty fair to say, she's been kind of like 100% Mary Sue in a lot of ways, then I could see her being at a 90 for Rise of Skywalker in the beginning. And then once the fake training stuff ends, or whatever it is that they're trying to tease as that looks like training is, it'll be back to 100. Yeah, I just, you don't have a character that's been so OP for 2 movies in a row, and then all of a sudden in the 3rd film decide, you know what, maybe we should give her some training. Maybe we should try and develop her a little bit more. Maybe we should try and have that. You don't really see that happening from a lot of movie makers, because if they're that stubborn in the first 2 films, they're not going to go and move from their stubborn ways. So I could see them keeping that character just as much of a Mary Sue in this film as they have in all the previous films as well. But thank you for that super chat, J Money J. I appreciate it. HyperX13 in the chat says, also sorry to hear about what happened to you, both with the videos and a traitor in the Phantom Menace whom I don't want to mention. Yeah, and she would say that she was never a part of the Phantom Menace, and I think there's a lot of truth to that. She was always just kind of on her own, and she had a lot of support from a lot of Phantom Menace types, and she was very much involved, YouTube-wise with a lot of Phantom Menace channels. But yeah, it's just a sad situation overall, and I'm appreciating that you're not trying to mention the channel name, because I just kind of want to try and move away from it as much as I possibly can, because at the end of the day, you can't cure insanity unless the person with insanity wants to cure it. So all I can hope is that one day they come back to reality, because if they can come back to reality and try and seek some form of redemption, I'm that type of person where even though they called me out saying I'm not a real Christian, I'm somehow a fake Christian because I'm defending someone's freedom of speech, I can still forgive. But it's gonna require someone to work on some issues. That's all I'm gonna say about that. That's all I'm going to say about that. HybridX13 also says, Spider-Man PS4 is pretty good. Love to see how inspired it is by Arkham series. Not going to spoil it, but you'll be heartbroken by the ending. Well, don't tell me that, man. I don't want to be heartbroken. I want to have fun. Lord almighty, tell me I'm going to be heartbroken. I have seen some of those Arkham-like qualities you're talking about, because having never played Arkham, but I had friends in high school and in college who loved PS, like the old school PlayStation, Xbox. I was never really into it. Like the PS4 is the most modern system that I've ever bought with my own money since my parents bought me an N64. Like that's pretty, like I've had a Nintendo Wii, but I've only really used it for Wii Sports. Like let's just be honest here. So other than the Switch and then recently the PS4, I'm just brand new to modern day gaming. And I can say that having watched the gameplay of him, especially with having to sneak around and use strategy and use, solve puzzles, that type of thing, there's definitely a lot of inspiration. But you know what? It's good. It works very well. Tina B says, "We good, sir." I'm glad to hear it. Thank you. Appreciate it. Let's see. 70B says, "You can't resist the troll. You can't resist the troll in the dungeon. Troll in the dungeon." You're right about that. You cannot resist it. I am hearing some people claiming that there are some issues. Okay, I'm just making sure that everything is still set on the same thing. Everything is still set on the same thing, so it should be fine. All right. I haven't changed any settings on my end, so everyone's should be fine. Laura Ryan Stole My Fanfiction Story says, "Return to Jafar was better than Frozen 2. That's a fact, Laura. Because as I said, there's a special place in my heart for Return of the Jafar, because even though I hate it for the fact that the voice acting is changed away from the late, great Robin Williams to someone else who, again, was a funny guy, but he wasn't Robin Williams. Yeah, I would much rather watch that movie again on repeat than see Frozen 2 again. I would definitely agree with you there. Nickel Noodle says, "I bet that big bushy beard blocks out a lot of germs." Oh, yeah. Blocks? I would say collects is probably the better term. And as a teacher, oh, lordy, as a teacher, that could be dangerous. Colt Rayner, thank you very much for the lemon donation on DLive. And Stray Dog 65, thank you for the 3 ice cream donation over on DLive. I appreciate you. Mr. Peabody over on DLive says, "At this stage, training Ray would add insult to injury." You're right. And that's why I don't think they're going to do it. Because if they do, then fans will think that they've won. And the studio can't have that. The studio can't have the fans thinking that they're listening to them. Why would Disney care about what the fans want? They've already made it very clear they don't care about what the fans want. Why would they start now when they're at the end? Dion, what's going on? Dion says, hope you be awesome, cool, and raining here in SoCal. Oh, and Solo lost money. That is a fact, and thank you for reminding me of that. And yes, it is quite nice here. It's nice and cool, nice and chill outside. 40s in the morning, 50s and 60s in the afternoon. I think we have another front coming through that'll get that low back into the 20s and 30s. So I'm excited for that. I love me some cold weather. Love that I get to wear a jacket every day, even indoors. It's comfortable. It's my comfort space. There's also, there's places to store stuff like phones and rosaries and things like that. I like having storage space. It's a great thing to have. Rafael says, "Hello, I finally know why Disney bought Fox. They wanted to get Hotstar Indian streaming service with 300 million subscribers beating Netflix 150 million subscribers global." Ooh, I don't know what that is. I've never heard of that before. Laura says, "Last Jedi was better than Frozen 2. I wouldn't go that far. I would not go that far. I would much rather watch Frozen 2 a second time than The Last Jedi. I will say that much, because The Last Jedi just makes me mad. Frozen 2 doesn't really make me mad. It just bores me out of my mind. But yes. Oh, man. Jumping over to D-Lab, Mr. Peabody says, "Getting close to time to dust off the beard ornaments." You're right about that. I need to find the beard ornaments first, because everything got packed up when we moved, and I don't know where that drawer was packed away from. So I do have to find those at some point to do at least a couple of streams with the beardaments. Mr. Peabody also says, we are finally getting a good summer after 2 years of a fizzle." Oh, really? Tell me about this summer. Captain Mr. Roy, thank you for the 2 diamond donation. I appreciate the 2 diamonds over on DLive. And Captain Mr. Roy, thank you for the 5 ice cream donation as well. I appreciate it, man. You are da bomb. And also, because of a coincidence, if you want to get my attention on the YouTube chat, you see how there's a little green box, and you see how one of those names happens to be Odin Question? Well, turns out, in order for me to access the YouTube chat now, OBS won't do it for me, so I have to pull it up and pop it up in another window, which means I have to sign into my other account to which this is attached to, so that Odin question, the word Odin question, actually pops up orange for me and lets me know that you're trying to get my attention. But that's how you do it right there, Odin question. As you can see, Odin question. As long as you have Odin question, it'll pop up orange. Make sure it's spelled correctly. It tells me you're trying to get my attention, and I will read your question or comment. You don't have to super chat, but if you want to super chat or donate via Streamlabs donation, which helps out the channel, you are more than welcome to, but you don't have to. And that's the one thing I love about this channel. Star Wars for Life review. Aw, Ruthie, what's going on? Thank you for the $2 super chat. Says, hello, Odin. Which episode is your favorite 1 through 5? I assume you're talking about Star Wars episodes 1 through 5. Wouldn't you mean 1 through 6? Don't you mean 1 through 6? Am I thinking of the wrong one? If you're talking about Star Wars, which wait. I got you. Star Wars for Life, don't worry. Mandalorian, that's what you're talking about. Mandalorian, 3, easily. 3 is the best episode of The Mandalorian. 3 is the only really good episode of The Mandalorian. You know, the first 2 episodes are mostly good. You know, the first episode was an 8 out of 10, solid. Second episode was shorter, 7 out of 10 for me. 3 was a 9 out of 10. Like, seriously, was by far the best episode that they've done on Disney Plus for The Mandalorian yet. And then episode 4, they go off on this random tangent. I gave it a 5 out of 10 because I just thought it was so lazy in the writing. And then, and also poor in the direction. And then this episode, I gave a 7 out of 10 to, which actually is, I think, pretty generous, because not a whole lot happens, and I'm just very tired of us getting these waste episodes. And some people are saying on Twitter and social media, oh, well, every show has it. But not every show is only 8 episodes long and only has 27 to 32, 34-minute episodes. The ones that have filler parts are ones that usually have 45 to an hour's worth of an episode to play with. Yeah, absolutely. Have filler in episodes like that when you might need to have filler. But when you have only 8 episodes that are roughly 30 minutes on average, all of them together, I'm sorry, but there's no excuse for having an entire episode be filler. So I'm really hoping that next week they're able to come back from this week's episode, which was really sad because I love Dave Filoni. And Dave Filoni wrote and directed this week's episode, and it was one of the weakest episodes by far. The only reason, as I said before, why episode 4 is weaker than 5 in my mind is because of the fact that it had a much greener director in Bryce Dallas Howard, and also the story was very, very weak by Jon Favreau as well. But thank you for that super chat. I really do appreciate it very much. All right, jump back over to the YouTube chat. Cupcake Geek says, I watched that update you posted a few days ago. I hope everything is okay now. Nothing happened to my sub box. So I'm glad to hear it, Cupcake Geek, that you were not one of the ones affected by it, but there were definitely a few. And some of the comments were pretty funny because it was like they thought I was trying to do it on purpose, and I'm looking at them like, hey, wait a minute. Why would I do that on purpose? That's asking for people to leave. Trust me, if someone that I'm subscribed to, if all of their videos got reposted at once and all of them showed up and took over my feed, I probably would get upset as well, right? I'd probably get upset as well, unless I really like them, in which case it would be okay. But yeah. Must stay hydrated. Slasha Neon says, compared to what a good episode 9 could have done after a good episode 8, I say hashtag Rise of Skywalker lost money. Well, here's the thing, Slicer. That's a little bit harder to do because Disney is going to have its full machine in force behind this project. You know they're going to have this in full force, and they're going to try and do everything they can to ensure this does not lose money. And some people might try and go into the rabbit hole of conspiracy theory of, oh, they're going to buy tickets. No, it's mostly going to be them saying, hey, theater, if you want to show our movie, here's how many showtimes you need to have. Here's how many screenings need to be available. And they're going to try and tie the hands of the theater company. That's what they're going to do. Like, that's a way that they can get the movie out there and shove it in people's faces without actually having to buy tickets themselves. Could they buy tickets themselves? Sure. There's just no evidence that they are actually buying their own tickets at this point in time. The only evidence of them playing with money we really have at this point is from their theme parks, of them counting gift cards being used at their theme parks as double. So counting it when it's bought and then counting it when it's used again, instead of it just being counted once, because that's the only time that the money is actually going to them directly. But anyway, That's a whole other topic, but I don't think it'll lose money. My range right now is still $850 million to $1.1 billion. Now, that's not good because that makes it the lowest grossing of the sequel trilogy, of the Disney trilogy, as it's now being dubbed by many, and that's not a good thing. And if this film somehow comes in under $1 billion, that would be even worse. Getting to that 1.1, maybe 1.2 billion range, that in itself would not be good because it would be less than anything else. But if it comes in under that $1 billion mark, that would be a travesty. Because, yeah, they could say we still made money, we still made profit. The metric of that, the way that would look, would not be good, especially when you have other films like Joker, which only costs $55 million to make, crossing the $1 billion mark. If not even The Rise of Skywalker can do that with Disney's machine behind it, that bodes very poorly for the future of Star Wars in the cinema for them. And I think they're relying on Mandalorian to try and get people excited again. But if they're going to have 2 filler episodes like this in 4 and 5 of The Mandalorian, you're not doing a very good job of building that up. That's for sure. Super Anime Gamer says, well, I hope Freya feels better soon. Also, King of Thieves is the best Aladdin sequel. I can't unhear Gilbert Gottfried's awful singing voice. See, I haven't seen King of Thieves in a very long time. The one I always watched was Return of Jafar. So I have some, because I know that it deals a lot with Aladdin's father, is kind of like the main driving narrative of that one, of King of Thieves, or Prince of Thieves. But yeah, I agree. I think that, actually, to be honest, I like all of the Aladdin sequels, which is very rare because most of the Disney sequels were very poorly done. But that's one of the ones that actually, even the trilogy, I liked it. Greta says, been wanting to see Silence for a long time. Greta, if you've never seen Silence, I highly recommend it, especially as a fellow person of the faith. I recommend it because it really does just dive into the human experience of what one goes through when one has doubts, when one has questions, when one sees all the chaos and pain and suffering around them and what that can do to a person's faith, but also at the same time show what someone's faith can do for how they live their life and how they have basically control of their life in a lot of ways. It's beautiful. It really is. And some of the best acting, best cinematography. Seriously, it's just beautiful. I highly recommend it, Greta. Definitely, for you especially, I think you would greatly appreciate it. Aiden Vickery says, I have been meaning to ask, do you have a movie blog? Allegedly, it's never been proven. It's never been proven. The evidence is very thin. Star Wars for Life review. Ruthie, thank you again for another $2 super chat, says, have you seen Marriage Story? I thought, and I love it. I have not seen it yet because it's not playing near me. Last time I checked, I've heard some pretty good things about it. However, the reason why I'm less keen to watch it is because I know it's basically, I feel like it's today's version of Kramer versus Kramer, right? Where it's dealing with a family going through a divorce, but this one's going to be a little bit different in the parts of the it's going to go more, from what I've heard, it's very, very detailed about what a divorce in modern society is like, not just for the people involved, but also for the kids. Actually, even showing you that oftentimes the two people that are getting divorced are usually on equal terms with each other, but it's not until they go into court where the lawyers get involved that things get really nasty. So I think it's almost a commentary on lawyers in general, which, hey, I'm fine for that. But I don't like how it's essentially, by doing that, normalizing divorce. And that's something as a Catholic that I have a problem with. And so I still want to see it because I want to see the performances. I personally love Adam Driver. I think that dude is a great actor. He's also in Silence. Does a great job there. It's sad that they've misused him in Star Wars because he really is so talented. But that would be the reason why I might want to hold off on seeing it, because I don't want to see any film that either glorifies or, in this case, normalizes the process of divorce, because again, as a Catholic, I can't really support it. Alex McCarthy says, it's been 90 days for me. Watched Flubber earlier. Oh, you've been watching a lot of 90s. Flubber. Talk about classic Robin Williams films. So great. I love that man so much. I miss him. Tina B says, I'm not starting something on a dying platform. When the Phoenix rises from the ashes of dead YouTube, then we'll talk about me starting a channel. No, Tina, you need to start that channel. The people of Asgard demand that the Valkyrie start it. Start the channel. Grandmaster Yoda says, today, episode 9 final trailer hit 100,000 dislikes, and the last TV spot show Mary Sue stop Kylo Saber in combat with Force Freeze. Wow, that crap shows episode 9 will be. Yeah, it definitely seems like it'll be a crap show. I really do think that that's what it's going to be, Grandmaster Yoda, and I think a lot of people are starting to wake up to that fact. The fact that you now have some mainstream channels being more critical of Star Wars than they ever have been since 2015, I think speaks volumes. And we were talking about this on Friday Night Tights last night, the movie reviews that we're going to get. And something that was revealed to me by one of the persons in the chat was that apparently the lift on review ban. So you know how studios will put some type of ban on reviews if you get to see it early at up until a certain point to try and build up momentum. Some studios don't have any screenings whatsoever, so that no reviews come out. And when no reviews come out, that usually means, okay, it's not going to be a good movie. They don't want critics going to see it early because they don't want bad word of mouth to hurt it too much, even though it always does, because opening day you find out, or Thursday night at the very least you find out. But from what I've been told, and I have to verify this myself, but I believe it, is that Disney's not going to lift the ban on reviews until December 18th, which is the day before it releases. So I don't know what that's a sign of. I think that they've done that in the previous years, so it's definitely not something new from them. However, it does give me some mindset. If this was the giant glowing success of a Star Wars movie that was going to redeem everything, bring the fans back, be the giant global juggernaut that it once was, you would have that film getting reviews very early to build up that opening weekend. But if they're not going to do that, that seems to indicate to me that it might not be, that might be them admitting it's not nearly as good as you might think. So that'd be interesting, to say the least. Zach Gregg, what's going on, Zach Gregg? Hold on one second. River is trying to eat. This is not you. No. Stop trying to eat the trash. Zach Gregg says, Rey is bland and honestly don't care about. Rey is bland and honestly don't care about, and Disney added characters to Star Wars. Wait, what? I agree with you that Rey is bland, though. That part I did understand. Indeed. All right, let's see where we are in the chat. Where are we? Let's see. Chat jumped on me once again. And it looks like some comments may have been skipped, so very sorry about that. But sometimes YouTube, when it skips comments, it doesn't let me go back and read them all, unfortunately. So again, very sorry about that if your comment was skipped. But this is where we are currently in the chat with Alex McCarthy saying, Odin, daily reminder that you're breathtaking, and Gary had a comic book store, allegedly, also hashtag solo lost money. Well, thank you for that daily reminder once again. Hardwick Bentho says, did you see the video of Henry Cavill responding to an interview who asked him about toxic fans? I did. And basically, the guy said, no, that's just fandom. It's just fans being fans. I don't call it toxic. I call it passion. He calls it passion. And you know what? He's right. Because are there people that are toxic? Yes. The ones that try and dox people, the ones that try and basically, tear down, someone's reputation, etc., on movies and projects, yeah, that's toxic. But if you're just being critical, if you're just calling out nonsense, if you're just calling out the BS, no, that's passion. And I think Henry Cavill is totally right on that. I don't think that's going to bode well for him, because you know what happens when actors and directors and producers are honest in Hollywood? It usually doesn't end up well for them. So I kind of hope that his career continues to go forward even after those comments. But yes, I did watch it. It was fantastic. Zach Gregg says, Spider-Pig is greater than Spider-Man. Maybe funnier. Glinzer says, did you say you own a PS4? God of War. Glinzer, I'm playing God of War. It came with the bundle I got. And it's fun. It is fun so far. It was crazy, the battle in the beginning. I think it's Loki. They never really say. It just says that they're a stranger, and he calls himself one of the sons. He says, my father, Odin. So I'm assuming that it was Loki. I could be wrong on that. Maybe it was just something else. But yes, it's fantastic. But I'm also playing Spider-Man right now, and Spider-Man's a lot more fun. Super Anime Gamer says, the Arkham games are amazing. Never been much of a gamer either, but Arkham City is one of the coolest, most fun games I've played. Fights with Mr. Freeze and Clayface were rad. Ooh, I might have to look in to see how I might be able to play those games now. Though, of course, I want to finish these games that I have first. HyperNext13 says, there's only one return, and that's Return of the Jedi. Just kidding, Return of Jafar must be a great movie. I haven't seen it yet. Shame on me. I wouldn't call it a great movie. It's just a fun movie. I would not call any of the sequels great for Aladdin. I would just say that for a younger Odin, they were entertaining. And I got your reference too. There's only one return, and it's of the Jedi. Clerks 2, man. I love Clerks 2 so much. Nickel Noodle says, I've never been more excited about a movie I'm not going to see than Episode 9 because of all the quality material headed my way from so many entertaining people on YouTube. Oh, it's going to be a feast. It's going to be a feast of great quality content on YouTube. You're damn right about that. You are damn right about that. It's going to be a damn good time. All right, just making sure that wasn't a text from anyone. Cool. Because if Freya needs me, I'll have to put the be right back up. Let's see. But I absolutely agree with you. Laura Ryan stole my fanfiction story. Says, no pressure on the beardaments. They looked uncomfortable. You can just be crafty and use ribbons or something. Well, it wasn't that they were uncomfortable, but they weren't necessarily comfortable either. But if I find them, I'll put them back on. But yeah, I think I might have to be getting a little bit of a trim either tomorrow or within the next week or so. That way I look nice and purdy for Christmas vacation cards and pictures and such. But yeah, Jay Stowe, thank you very much for sending me some more digital codes today. And also, if you're on Subscribestar right now, Dean Heiss and Larry. So I don't know if you're watching on DLive right now, but Dean Heiss and Larry messaged me through Subscribestar because you two won digital copies. So look at that list that was posted in Subscribestar. Choose 3, and then whichever first one is available, whatever's left, that's the one I'll send you. So just message me via Subscribestar. I'll take care of you. And also, I don't know if you saw, but congratulations, Mr. Roy. You won the Joker 4K giveaway. So you won the 4K edition of the Joker. So please email me, Mr. Roy. That way I can figure out where I'm going to send that bad boy. And also, the K-Man. If you're watching on DLive right now, the K-Man, congratulations. You won the Joker on Blu-ray. So please send me that contact information. That way I can send those prizes to you. But just keep in mind that they will not be available until January 7th. So they'll ship out and should get to you by January 7th. But make sure you contact me. That way we can get y'all set up. Thank y'all very much for being awesome people. And Jay Stowe, thank you for those codes. And he says, if there is a problem with trolls, they must be from Troll Tools Nilbog. Yeah, probably, if I had to imagine. Greta Zenner says, have you seen the new Xfinity commercial that's a sequel to E.T. and brings back the original actor that played Elliot? It's quick, but it made me sentimental. I have not seen the actual video yet. However, I've seen a picture of it, and just the picture made me sentimental because you have E.T. in all of his glory, and then you have grown-up Elliot, and you can tell that it's the same actor. And yes, absolutely. ZDB, thank you for letting them know how to contact me. Laura Ryan stole my fanfiction story. Says, the Pacific Rim is greater than Frozen 2. Well, having never wasted my time on Pacific Rim 2, I would not know. Naughty or Nice Production says, how are you doing, my good friend? Currently making my naughty list of 2019, and it's a doozy. Ho, ho, ho. Oh, I bet it is. Captain Dean Heiss, welcome, good sir, to the D-Live chat. You might want to check your Subscribestar feed. And Captain Larry, 2001, thank you very much. So he is celebrating a 4-month sub streak. Thank you very much, Captain Larry, 2001. You are awesome. You are awesome. Darth Moral over on the YouTube chat says, good evening. Black Widow looks decent. However, it should have been made after Civil War at the height of Black Widow's popularity. Plus, nobody wanted Captain Marvel as a first female lead. Yes, you're right. And that's one of the big critiques I have of the trailer is that why should I care now? She's dead in the canon right now. And I know we all know we all know she's going to get brought back. But as of now, she's dead. So why should we care about her origin story? And yeah, we were excited for an origin story a long time ago, and now you've decided we're going to start to make one. It doesn't make any sense. It's them trying to, again, capitalize on something that was something that could have been successful years ago, and I don't think it's going to be as successful as they expect it to be. Cobra Viper 999. What's Disney's biggest fail this year? I say not getting Baby Yoda merchandise out for Christmas. Yes, that is their biggest fail. The fact that they had all of the stuff for Frozen 2 ready, including that adorable, if I can say anything positive about Frozen 2, the little fire salamander is freaking adorable. They had all that stuff ready to go, but Baby Yoda? And the excuse is we didn't want to spoil it. That's never stopped them from making merchandise before. Like that's the reason why I don't believe that, because I know some people have heard that from other sources, but I just don't buy into that because they should know, or they should have had confidence in the show. And the fact that they didn't have this merchandise ready. The other telling tale to me that no, it wasn't that they were trying to hide it, is the fact that the first merchandise they released officially were t-shirts that looked like they had been made by some person, random dude, at his computer at home, taking random pictures off the internet and putting them onto a Teespring. Like that's what it came across as. That's the quality of what they were putting out for Baby Yoda content. So yeah, they had no idea. That is their biggest fail, no question about it. Hardwick says, did you see Billy D. Williams' clarification about his misinterpreted statements? I didn't see either, because as soon as I saw Billy D. Williams comes out as gender fluid, I was like, I'm so over it. I just don't care. I just don't care. I don't buy into that nonsense anyway. So yeah. Professional Gun 66 says, clink clink, that's Boba Fett, right? Many people are suspecting it for sure. However, I think that it's more likely going to be Giancarlo Esposito from Breaking Bad, who has already been established in the trailers as going to be a character that will show up. And since he hasn't, I could see that being a way that they might bring him in. Darth Morrill says, the shill Matt Jarbo thinks Episode 9 will make $2 billion. Yeah, well, Matt Jarbo doesn't really have a whole lot of credibility these days. I mean, he went after me for being a Christian, for one. He went after my Christianity, so he's already shown himself to be a stand-up guy. But I would love to know what numbers he's looking at, because the only official numbers we have right now from experts is that it's coming in under The Last Jedi. Those are the official numbers we have. Now, it could be more than that. It could be less than that. But as far as actual estimates from professionals, it's coming in under The Last Jedi for its opening weekend domestically. We already know it's not going to do as well overseas, because Star Wars does not do well in China and has done less and less and less every movie since The Force Awakens came out. So I like to know where all of this money he thinks is going to show up is coming from, because it's not going to be from the markets that may have shown up previously. That's for sure. Slice of Neon says, got a Lego Star Wars Advent calendar. Thanks, Mom. More excited to see what I get each day than the fall of Skywalker, though it does have the Last Jedi sets. Oh, well. Yeah, but you know what? That sounds pretty damn awesome. Not only is it an Advent calendar, but it's also a Lego set. That sounds pretty great. That sounds pretty great. Super Anime Gamer 01 says, Aladdin, Cinderella, and actually The Lion King have pretty good sequels, but they're pretty much the only ones. Yeah, I never saw Cinderella 2, just never had the desire. Lion King, if you mean Simba's Pride, yeah, I actually didn't hate that one either. You know, it deals with the spoiler warning for anyone that hasn't seen it in the last 20 years. It deals with the son of Scar. So apparently Scar had a son, and it deals with the son trying to basically get redemption in the eyes of Simba, because he has the hots for Simba's daughter. So that's the basic premise, which now that I'm saying it out loud makes me kind of wonder, is it as good as I remember it? Alice McCarthy says, Marriage Story is on Netflix. Is it really? Oh, well, thank you for that information. I did not know that. I guess I'll have to check that out then. Jace Doe says, when Odin is asked about his movie blog, Odin goes all Schultz, Hogan's Heroes. I see nothing. I hear nothing. I know nothing. You're right. And what was it? What were you just saying? That's what I thought. Mr. Peabody over on DLive says, it is weird that my YouTube has you out of focus and DLive is crystal clear. Must be Aussie internet. Well, it makes sense, because if your Aussie internet is upside down, well then, yes, that would work. Also, YouTube sucks. So there is that as well. Super Anime Gamer says, saw Marriage Story today, loved it, can definitely sympathize with your view, but it's also true that America has already normalized divorce. Our rate is at least 30%. I have to check. It's 50%. I can tell you that as a fact. As a religion teacher, I kind of need to know these things, but basically right now, it's at the very least, the last time a survey was done, 50% of marriages end in divorce, and that even includes faith-based ones as well. Now, when you actually take into account people waiting for each other prior to marriage, it's much less. Amazing what happens when you save yourself. Let's see. Slicer Neons. Will the rise of Skywalker be worse than the YouTube Rewind? My lord, is that legal? I think that it might be worse than the Rewind from last year. Last year's Rewind was much worse than this year's. This year's was just lazy. This year was, oh, we don't want to step on any toes, so let's just show you clips. And then even then, they still got political because they still ended up showing a bunch of crap and doing the whole representation nonsense. Like, they'll never learn. They will never learn. Because whenever people that they wanted to promote, if they weren't on any of their official lists, they just made up a random stat so that they could show them. Like, that stuff's so ridiculous. It really is. Bothers me. It bothers me very much. I don't like when they're doing that. I don't like it one bit. All right. Chat jumped on me once again, so let's see where we are in the chat. Looks like no comments were skipped this time. Thank the Lord. Tina B says, I heard that movie is allegedly coming out in Japan a week before the U.S. gets it, so there's no way Disney can shut down everything about it. Tina, yeah, let me check that. Let me fact check that. That way we can get all of our ducks in a row. So oftentimes what studios will do is they'll have a incremental release. And it's their way of trying to build up momentum, because if you release it in a small market and it gets positive reviews from that market, well, then eventually other parts of the world are going to say, oh, I want to see it, I want to see it. And then normally, it leads to a very good opening weekend. That being said, I don't really think this is going to be one of those types of situations where it's going to have a tremendous impact. I could be wrong on that, but I don't think I will be. But let's see. The release date, of course, for the U.S. is going to be December 20th. So it's going to be December 20th. I'm looking right now at the release dates, and I'm seeing the earliest release date being December 18th. Japan's release date is December 20th. The earliest release date is in Austria, Belgium, Switzerland, 3 times, China, Germany, Denmark, Finland, France, Greece, Indonesia, Israel, Italy, Lithuania, Netherlands, I didn't think it would be this many, Norway, Sweden, and Ukraine all get it on December 18th. Everyone else gets it on the 19th and 20th. So, of course, in the United States, we get it on the 19th in the evening. So we get it in the evening on the 19th. But yeah. So it looks like it's not getting out a week beforehand unless they're doing early screenings, which is not typical of Disney. Disney does not tend to do early screenings in that way, but maybe they're going to try to. I don't know. But yeah, there's your information on that. Darth Morrill says, at the British box office, Joker has become one of the highest grossing movies of all time, nearing 75 million. Also, it was rated R. That is one hell of a milestone. It is. Not only was it made for 55 million, low budget, in comparison to so many other films, it was rated R. And it didn't get a China release either. That's a huge milestone. For any film to cross $1 billion without China and being rated R is a hell of a film. And that is indeed a hell of a film. All right, jumping over to D-Live. Captain Larry 2001 just resubbed for 3 months and is now on a 5-month streak. Thank you, Captain Larry 2001, for resubbing, man. I appreciate it. Dennis Dementius, thank you for following. And Mr. P.I. says, in episode 5, shouldn't the Mandalorian be charged with child abandonment and leaving a child in a vehicle? Yes, Mr. Peabody, you're right. He's definitely committed a crime of some sorts. That's for damn sure. All right, back over to YouTube. Super Anime Gamer says, also, regarding Marriage Story, gotta give Baumbach major kudos for portraying Driver's character fairly and addressing the impact divorces and the legal system have on dads. Well, I'm glad to hear he handled it fairly. I am not a big fan of Noah Baumbach's work, though. He's kind of in that Greta Gerwig style, and I don't like her at all. She's the one that did Lady Bird, which to me was one of the most overhyped, overrated films of all time. So, yeah. But I'm glad to hear that you liked it. I'm definitely willing to give it a chance, especially if it's on Netflix. Naughty Nice Production says, how are you doing, my good friend? Really busy with my naughty list of 2019. Okay, that's a repeat. Don't repeat. Rhaegar Targaryen says, I know who the stranger is. It's not Loki. Look up his other sons. Rhaegar Targaryen. Thank you very much. I'm not going to look it up because I'm sure I might find out for myself. but I don't want to spoil anything in the game. Echo Base Network, thank you for the $10 super chat. Echo Base Network says, Hail Odin, had our first monetized live stream last night and everything in OBS you set us up worked perfectly. Also, is it just me or does The Mandalorian get worse with each episode? Echo Base, one, congratulations on being monetized. Seriously, dude, congratulations. That's awesome. It's a huge milestone. It's one of the hardest things to get to. Once you get there, things, in my opinion, get a little bit easier as far as, as far as numbers go. It's like usually it's the hardest. Hitting 1,000 subscribers is usually one of the hardest things to do. Just ask Jeremy. It took him a long time just to get to that point. It took me a long time to get to that point too. So congratulations on that. Glad to hear OBS worked out for you. It is a great service. It's a great service. It's a great app. It's a great system. It has its quirks every now and then. It's not perfect, but it's pretty great for being free, especially. Glad to hear that worked. And yes, Mandalorian is kind of a wave at this point. It's kind of on a roller coaster ride because first episode was solid. Second episode, not so much. Third episode was amazing. Fourth episode was one of the worst. And then fifth episode was maybe slightly better, but that's being kind. So yeah, I definitely agree with you there, Echo Base. So thank you for the super chat, man. And glad to hear everything is going swimmingly on the channel. Tina, thank you for letting them know how to contact me. Tom Norton says, Odin, you're boycotting Rise of Skywalker, right? Well, none of my money is going towards it. That being said, my friend John Flickinger of the FlickPick channel, go subscribe to him. Awesome, awesome dude. He bought me a ticket to go see it in IMAX with him. So, so I am and I'm not. Because I didn't pay for the ticket. Because the way it worked originally was I thought that he had gotten a screening to go see it because he's like, hey, do you want to go see it with me on this day? And I'm like, oh, yeah, absolutely, man. Because normally when he asked me that, it's about a screening. And it wasn't until about 2 weeks later I realized, oh, we're seeing it opening night. I was like, that's a weird time for a screening. He's like, no, you doofus, I bought you a ticket. I'm like, oh, okay. So he bought me a ticket to go see it in IMAX. So I have not given any money to it. I don't plan on giving any money to it. But John Flickinger did. JJ, what's going on, man? Hardwick says, which non-DC Henry Cavill movies have you seen? Man from U.N.C.L.E., Immortals, Mission Impossible, Fallout. I've seen Man from U.N.C.L.E. and Fallout. Both are great. I like his roles in both of those. Tina says, did you see Henry Thomas in Haunting of Hill House, which I got to see when I still had Netflix? Couldn't believe it was the same person. No. Who is Henry Thomas? And I've never seen Haunting on Hill House. Glinzer says, whatever you do on this earth, do not buy your wife a Peloton. Supposedly, it's sexist. I've heard about... So I watch videos from a channel called Unbox Therapy, which I'm a tech head, so I love his channel. He also does a podcast on one called Do Later, so I listen to this podcast whenever I'm on the road or doing something around the house. And in one of his podcasts recently, he talked about and explained what their campaign was like. And yeah, and he talked about, of course, the major, the attacks that were on the company for being so-called sexist. And oh my goodness, so great. But yeah, don't worry, I have no plans on doing that. Not because my wife would think it's sexist, but because, no, that's not what we're going to spend money on. Phonemo says, I may have you give Disney money since my nieces and nephews want. He may have to. So Phonemo may have to give Disney money since his nieces and nephews want to go see it. Yeah, that's one of the hard binds. The only reason why I saw Frozen 2 was because my little 3-year-old niece wanted to go see it with all of us. And so my money didn't go there, but the money of my family did. And yeah, that's one of those things where it's tough because I'm not going to tell a 3-year-old, no, see, Uncle Odin's not going to go to this movie because of the evil corporation that Disney is like. Yeah, I mean, if it was my kid, I could say, we're not going to do this. We're not going to see this movie. If it's not my kid, I can't do that. Even if I'm an uncle, right? Even if I'm a relative, can't do that, right? Not my place to try and get that there. That's something where I can have a conversation with them when they're older and say, hey, well, if you want to listen to your Uncle Odin, well, let me tell you a bit about 3-year-old's not going to understand that. They just want to see pretty images on a screen. All right, Tina B says, I thought that Black Widow director was out dissing man babies or talking about no guns a few months back. That shut down all my interest. Haven't seen the trailer. Yeah, and I think that's a good reason to lose interest in it. For me, it's the fact that the only male character, or clearly male character, because you do have a major villain who's supposed to be a male character, but again, under a mask, you never know what kind of twist they're going to throw in there. but the only male character they have is portrayed as a fat slob. So, yeah. All I can say is if a female character was in a mostly male cast and they were portrayed as a stereotype, would you hear complaints about it? And since the answer is yes, then double standard? I think so. Double standard. Levon Media says, are you excited about the new Wonder Woman 84 trailer that is coming on Wednesday? I did not know it was coming on Wednesday, but now I am because I did enjoy the first Wonder Woman, and I do like that team of Gal Gadot and Patty Jenkins. Rhaegar Targaryen says, calling it now, Black Widow comes back as a clone. I'm not going to say clone. Now that they've played with time travel and they don't care about the rules of time travel, which is what Endgame made very clear, we don't care about time travel rules, we're going to make them up as we go, then it's going to be time travel, probably not cloning. That's what I think. I know there's some that argue, oh, if you look at this specific scene, they look like cloning tanks or something to that effect, but yeah. Tina V says, they lied on Billy D, and now he's called the media on their lies. He didn't even know what it meant. They're filthy slanderers. Yeah, you're right about that. And I'm glad that Billy D's calling them out because that dude is cool. Lando Calrissian, the original Lando Calrissian, is cool. Also, speaking of which, Tina and Steph, where has our good friend Lando been? Did they shut him down for not being the real Lando Calrissian? Or maybe he was the real Lando Calrissian. I just can't tell these days. I just can't tell anymore. I just can't tell. Phone Nemo says, I may have to give... I got that one. Peabody says, Henry Thomas was Elliot from E.T. Thank you for the clarification. Context is important, especially when I get 20, 30 minutes behind in the chat. If you mention someone's name after it's been that long, I'm not going to be able to connect those dots. If it was in the moment of the conversation, I'd probably be able to be like, oh, that's probably the actor who played Elliot. But not having really been a big major actor, I don't remember his name. But thank you, Peabody, for that. And Phonema says, I'll take one for the team for them. Oh, Phonema, you got that, man. You got that, man. Captain Papitan. Captain Papitan, what's going on, bruv? Welcome. All right, back over to the YouTube. Naughty or Nice Production says, what do you want for Christmas, Odin? Cookies and eggnog? I like cookies. Chocolate chip cookies and a glass of chocolate milk. That sounds like heaven to me. Tina says, so it's Romeo and Juliet then. The Lion King 2. Yeah, it certainly seems that way. Greta says, Disney sequel watch party. Yeah. With orange mocha frappuccino. I don't know why I went towards Zoolander, but like just the voice I did reminded me of that. Superman Hemi Gamer. Wait, the rise of Skywalker is coming in under The Last Jedi? Imagine buying a $4 billion franchise, then have all but one movie miss projection by hundreds and hundreds of millions. Great work. Yeah, you're right about that. Yeah, for anyone wondering about the box office indicators for The Rise of Skywalker, the current opening weekend range domestically is 175 to 200. So max of 200, minimum 175. For reference, The Last Jedi made $220 million domestically on its opening weekend. So it's coming in 20 million, max 20 million under what The Last Jedi did. Now, could those numbers be wrong? Yes. Meaning it could be much less, but it also could be much more. Don't ever underestimate Disney. As soon as the Phantom Menace gets complacent and thinks, oh, we got this, it's going to fail, etc., that's the reason why I've never said that, because I don't think it's going to fail in the way that I mean it. When I say a film's failing, I usually mean it's losing money at the box office. When you say it's a bomb, it means it's lost money. I don't think that's what's going to happen to this film. I do think it's going to come in under their projections, though. That I do think is very possible. A lot of it has to do with the Phantom Menace. A lot of it has to do with just general Star Wars fans not caring about the current direction of Star Wars. So, yeah, never underestimate Disney, though, because I will always try and put that in there saying, even though this is what I think is going to happen, a lot of other things could potentially happen. Never put your guard down when it comes to Disney. Niggle Noodle says, Baby Yoda merch was an afterthought because it's still a George Lucas creation. There would have been tons of baby porgs available this Christmas if they were in the Mando. Yeah, I think you're right about that. George Lucas was great about one thing especially, merchandising. Where all the money from the movie is made, in the words of the great Yogurt. I was blanking on the name for a second. Yogurt! I hate yogurt! Even with strawberries. Hardwick says, Billy D. Williams was talking about Unigan psychology concept of the anima and animus, and the media misinterpreted it to mean that he was coming out as gender fluid. Ah, Lord, that just goes to show you how obsessed the media is with those concepts, that they'll even put the words, I'm gender fluid, into a person that never says it. That's just sad on their part. Sisa Neon says, I say Bambi 2 is the best Disney sequel. Patrick Stewart as the Prince of the Forest is excellent. I'm soft on There Is a Life Song 2, a great father-son story. I never saw Bambi 2. I actually kind of forgot there was a Bambi 2, but that sounds pretty great. Oh, man, oh, man, oh, man. Harbentho says, Billy D. Williams mentioned that when he found out the media coverage claiming he was gender fluid, he asked, what the hell is gender fluid? What the hell is a Hufflepuff? And yes, what the hell does that even mean? That's right. It's a concept that has been made up. It's a concept that has been made up. Oh, you can't say that. I'm just being honest. Chromosomes are very, very specific. And that is where I'll end that discussion, because that is not why we are here. Alrighty, jumping back into the YouTube chat. Darth Morrill says, the new 1917 looks great. I'm hearing it's similar to Dunkirk. Amazing special effects, score, and acting, but lack of character development. Well, if that's the case, I'll have the same issue with it as I did with Dunkirk. Dunkirk was a forgettable movie because there are no characters to be developed. You know, we can look back at Dunkirk and say, look at how beautiful everything is shot and all this really great cinematography and visuals, etc. But it's not necessarily going to be a movie you watch again, right? I mean, let me know. Are you in the chat right now and you said, have anyone in the chat right now said to themselves, I want to watch Dunkirk again? Like multiple times. If you have, please let me know. But if you haven't, ask yourself, why is that the case? And it's most likely going to be because there are no characters being developed. So why would you want to go back? Most people watch movies because of good established characters. Yeah, you might like the cinematography too. Yeah, you might like the score, etc. But most of the time you're coming back for the characters. So I hope 1917 doesn't do that, because that would be really bad. The one thing I'm excited to see is the cinematography, because Roger Deakins, who is a boss when it comes to cinematography, is supposedly on point with this film. Greta says, are you planning on putting more posters on your wall? Yes, Greta. The reason why I have not put on more posters is because we are in basically a temporary housing situation, because we're leasing this, we're renting this house, and we're trying still to sell our house back home. And it's looking like that's probably going to happen relatively soon, within the next month or two. And once that happens and we actually get our forever home basically up here, that's when I will, in whatever room I have, make it my own. Because my mindset now is I don't want to put something up just in a month to have to take it down, or in 2 months just to have to take it down, which is why my movies aren't even up. Like literally my movie shelf is mostly empty except for movies that I've been sent from NVD, Arrow Video, my boy Bruce, who's been sending me a lot of movies too. All my other stuff is still packed away because, yeah, I hate moving and I don't want to have to pack again. So I'm trying to limit it to being as little packing as possible. HyperNex13, what's your favorite animated movie? Mine is Princess Mononoke. Fun fact, it's Leo DiCaprio's favorite too. Very nice. Favorite, do you mean anime or animated movie? If you mean animated movie, Hunchback of Notre Dame has always been my favorite cartoon. Has always been my favorite animated film. If you mean anime, I would have to go with, I would have to go with Spirited Away. Spirited Away is solid. Solid. HyperNex13, what's your most overrated movie of 2019? I'm not going to give that away yet. Don't worry. I plan on making my most overrated or worst films of 2019. And my worst films of 2019 always tend to be overrated films because, yeah, I don't go to see on purpose really bad movies. But you can imagine Endgame is probably going to be up there. Hardwick says, I think you're wrong about Natasha being brought back. It's obvious at this point that Florence Pugh's character, Yelena Belova, is going to take her place like in some of the comics. No. I don't know. Hardwick, I think that's a bad take, man. I think that's a bad take because they're going to bring her back. I mean, it's written all over the place. Ever since they play with time travel, they're going to bring her back. Super says, Baumbach is actually married to Greta Gerwig, I think. She just had a baby. I always try to keep an open mind, but I'm with you. Lady Bird was bad. Yeah, if that's the case, then it explains a lot. Two of my least favorite filmmakers. Of course, they're married to each other. Ask Carthy says, the biggest crime is that Moof Milker sitting in Han's seat in Mando 5. Yes. And I was excited, too, because I was like, oh, they're back on Tatooine. Oh, that's the Katina. Oh, that's the table. Oh, who the hell is that sitting there? And then as soon as he opened his mouth, I was like, ugh, no, not the person you should have had in that position. Harvey then says, episode 5 of The Mandalorian was member berries overloaded. Yeah, overloaded. I agree. Overloaded for sure. Super Anime Gamer, opinions on Francis Ha. Never seen it, but I'm curious. It's garbage. Oh my goodness gracious. It is hot garbage. It's one of the most boring films I've ever seen in my life. I don't know why people love Greta Gerwig as an actress. She's so bland. She plays the same role in every single movie she does, and she's bland. She's just bland. I could not recommend that movie enough. It's just, no, don't watch it. Don't waste your time. Please do not waste your time with it. Jumping over to D-Live. Captain Dean High says, so sorry, haven't been active tonight, but bowling tonight. Now Ohio State game, so still be in and out. No problem at all, Captain Dean Heights. Mr. P.Y. says, Dunkirk, you have to watch more than once for it to make sense because they jump back and forward in the timeline. You're right about that. But do you care to really watch it again after you've seen it a second time? I would say no. And Peabody says the new Midway movie just doesn't give you a character you want to follow. I also heard the CGI for it's not very good either. Mark Lazurth, hail to you, Mark Lazurth. My mod brother from Friday Night Tights says, have you heard about M. Night Shyamalan's The Servant? It is super weird with some strange camera close-ups. No, I've never heard of The Servant before. Jay Stowe says, always cool when movies like Joker do this well. Glad there are movies like this that show you don't have to spend $100+ million to have a successful movie. I agree. I freaking love that. Love that so much. And that's why I hope we get more films like The Joker, because we need them. We need more solid films that can be based in a comic book or fantasy world that can also just be so gritty and realistic as well. Slice of Neons, episode 5, The Sandalorian, course rough and gets everywhere. And Tina's telling me who Henry Thomas is. He was also in Legends of the Fall with Brad Pitt. Never saw Legends of the Fall. Never saw it. Tina says, if you're addressing him, yes, make sure you put Odin question all one word. That is how I will access that comment. Thank you. Sasha Neon says, will UK police have to worry about teen gangs with lightsabers fighting in the theaters? Well, if the teens are going to fight in screenings of Frozen 2, then yes. I would say it's definitely a concern they should have. For those that don't know, the only act of violence that we've heard of recently was not in any screenings of Joker, but was actually in a screening in the UK of Frozen 2. Alex McCarthy, I don't know. Hopper was kicking butt in that Black Widow trailer. He was, but he was also fat and lazy. Nickel Noodle says, I bet a video of you explaining to your 3-year-old niece why Disney is evil would do very well for total views here on YouTube. Probably would, but yeah, not going to happen. Not going to put that on. Not going to put her on YouTube. Peabody says, Legend of the Fall has to go on your list. Okay, cool. I don't have the ability to add windows tonight because of what's going on with Streamlabs, but I'm sure Tina or Steph will remind me after the stream. Tina says, I haven't seen Lando on any stream lately. That's really sad. I hope Lando's okay. Whoever Lando really was. He was a person in the comment section a lot and was always in the live streams. Naughty or Nice Productions, I'm mostly masculine, but I do have a bit of a feminine side. Apparently, I'm gender fluid. No. That just makes you human. It just makes you a human being. Masculinity and femininity are fluid, meaning I can be manly, female, like I can be masculine, I can be feminine, right? That is absolutely something that can be dependent on a person, right? It's a person-on-person basis. Some people are more masculine than others. Some people are more feminine than others. That does not make them a female. That does not make them a male. All right, I don't really want to go into that because that's a whole other can of worms right there. Ooh, that's delicious. Hardwick says, Jack Schaefer, the first writer of Black Widow, said that she doesn't respect canon, that she's as discriminatory and wants to tone down the gun use, but she was replaced by Ned Benson. Well, I'm glad to hear that. So that's good. So for anyone that was worried about the writer saying some really crappy things, looks like they were replaced, as they should have been. Tech Guy says, what that Star Wars girl posted, that Bob Iger is crazy. Oh, what happened? Is that something that's recent? Super Anime Gamer, do you remember the opening weekend stats for The Force Awakens? I want to say that one did around $243 million opening weekend. I did that. I think I did a video on that recently. And I think I remember it being 240 or so. It was definitely more. It was either 240 or 260 opening weekend domestically. That's what Super asked as well. But either way, it's going to come in much less than the first two films in the sequel trilogy. That's for damn sure. As River's saying hi. 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 Oh, you're giving sweet kisses. Yeah. You just want to be on the show. You just want to cause chaos. Yeah, you do. You just want to cause chaos. So this is the one that y'all never see. This is River. She's always usually at my feet or on the side. And of course, Willow's is just passed out on the orange chair. So she's the couch pup. This is the floor pup right here. Yeah, but she's a sweetie. Everyone loves River. And I would say rightly so. She's awesome. Glinzer says a Hollywood icon celebrates his 103rd birthday, December 9th. Happy birthday to the true Spartacus. Sorry, Cory Booker. Kirk Douglas. Yeah, man. That dude is still kicking. That's awesome. So happy 103rd birthday to you. True Spartacus. Definitely not freaking Cory Booker. It was my Spartacus moment. No, Kirk Douglas is Spartacus. I am Spartacus. And speaking of that, this Tuesday, not talking about birthdays or Spartacus, but this Tuesday, it just reminded me, we have a great film coming out on physical media called Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And I can't wait to pick up my copy. I got a steelbook from Best Buy, and I'll be picking it up on Tuesday. Super Anime Gamer says, it also goes to show you how stupid the media is. Our man Billy D. Williams is talking about complex philosophy, and they just go, so you think you're a girl sometimes? Can't make it up. No, you can't. No, you can't. Only the media could make up that type of garbage. That's for damn sure. Tina says, I never saw Dunkirk at all, but Patton. Wow, that is a great movie. I've never seen Patton. Slice of Neon says, I would rewatch Dunkirk. Major military history buff. I argue the event is the character, not the people. Yeah, Slicer, I understand where you're coming from, but I feel like you're one of the few. Jay Stowe says, which is worse, them trying to label Billy D. Williams as gender fluid or trying to call Lando a pansexual in the Solo movie? I think that they're both equally bad, and I think that they come from the same mindsets. So the same mindset that would lead them to calling Lando Calrissian in the movie Solo as pansexual is the same mindset that led them to saying that about Billy D. Super Anime Gamer says, with 1917 development, I think is more important because the characters have a personal connection to the mission. On the other hand, I view lack of development actually as a benefit. A lack of character... Okay. You wanted to join? All right, now you're a part of the stream. Are you happy now? Are you going to cause chaos now? Oh, River. I know. You want attention. That's all you want. You want attention. I know you. All right, HyperDex13 says, very good choice, my brother. Also, I say Endgame is up there as well. Yes, for sure. Tech Guy says, but will they bring back Hawkeye? I mean, equality. That's a good point. Tina says, Greta Gerwig. Who is that? I'm serious. Who is she? Look it up. Greta Gerwig. As Carly says, the heck is Greta Gerwig? Never heard of her. Yeah, and you know what? You don't need to. Harbentho, most of the available information seems to show that Black Widow is going to be a passing of the torch movie like Logan. There are also multiple alleged leaks claiming as much. Well, until we actually get an official film, I'm going to go based on what we know so far. And that seems to be that she'll be coming back. HyperX13 says, quoting Ryan Gosling's Drive movie song, a real human being and a real hero. That song, yeah. I actually really like that song because the beat is funky. The beat is so funky. Funky. Going down to Funky Town. Yeah. All right, everyone's like, dog. Greta says, River's sweet puppy. She is a sweet puppy. She is. She's the star of the show. I know it. I could never compete with her or her sister. Alice Crowley says, Hopper didn't look at all fat in Black Widow. Looked like fat and muscle. Still better than fat Thor. Also, hashtag solo less money. Well, then I guess we'll have to agree to disagree. Greta says, Olivia de Havilland is also 103 and they're still kicking. That's awesome. Naughty Nice Productions, River and Riley will be on the nice list. River and Riley? You mean River and Willow? Willow should be on the nice list. Tina says everyone is bringing their dogs now. John Solo has a cute little pug now on his mythology channel, and a Tudor History Channel YouTuber has her dog and cat. Well, you know what? It's because animals really control the channel. We really serve the animals at this point. Harvey says, Red Guardian was initially Black Widow's husband in the comics. It looks like he's going to be a sort of brother or father figure in the movie. Definitely seems that way. Grandmaster Yoda says, Lion King and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood are still in my theater. Damn, son. I'm surprised Lion King is still in your theater, to be honest. That movie, I hate that movie. But yeah, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is fantastic. Can't wait to watch it again. HyperX13. Speaking of awesomeness of low-budget movies, on Parasite, the basement house room complexes were built sets along with the rich mansion. Wait, that was a set? Holy damn, man. Those were some brilliant sets. And speaking of that, I can't wait to pick Parasite up on media. I cannot wait to pick that one up. I hope it gets a 4K release because that bad boy would be fantastic. Would be fantastic indeed. HyperX13 says, let's sing that song to the SJWs and drive them crazy. I am a human being. That song? Yeah, that would drive anyone crazy. That would drive anyone crazy. Sasanian says, pet your doggo. You should have made Game of Thrones. You're right. I should have, because he would have pet his doggo. That's for damn sure. Freaking not petting the doggo. No, you always, yes, right. You always pet the doggo, right? Right, River? Yeah. She agrees. Always pet the doggo. Super Anime Gamer says, oh, look at the puppy. My brain skipped words in my last comment. I meant the lack of character development in Dunkirk is actually sort of a benefit, or at least I think so. And I would just disagree. I just personally love character development. It's something that I think is crucial to any story, and it's usually the reason why I go back. Most of the time when I say my favorite movies, I say it's because the characters are great. And sometimes it might be cinematography is great or the score is great, but usually good character development is also going to be a part of that account as well. All right, jump over to D-Live. Phonemo says, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is an early Christmas present from the wife. Phonemo, that's a great early Christmas present for damn sure. Great early Christmas present. And I'm glad it's coming out prior to Christmas too. That makes me excited. I'm sad that Joker, we have to wait until January 7th, but hey, at least we have a release date on that at this point. That's for sure. Let's see. HyperX13 says, I know, right? I'm happy to see a lot of directors go back to the practical touch with sets and all. Hopefully more will come. I agree. I absolutely agree with you there. Grandmaster Yoda says, Lion King mostly stayed now because it's dubbed in Norwegian and that drags kids easy. But trust me, it's not many shows, only 2 this week. Okay, gotcha. Well, I'm actually caught up with the chat there. We've been going for an hour and 15, so I'll go for a little bit longer. I'm trying to think about anything. So we talked a little about The Mandalorian, what my thoughts are on that. We talked a little bit about the rise of Skywalker and overall the box office. So we have a giant juggernaut in Frozen 2 that is making all the money this weekend. And Knives Out, of all films, is actually even making some money. Now, some are trying to argue in my comments saying, oh, it costs this much for marketing, and I've read reports this, I've read reports that. But all we can really go by are the industry standards and the numbers that we actually have. And based on the numbers that we have, even though Frozen 2 is set to have around 65 to 70% drop from week 1 to week 2, much of that is likely due to the fact that last week was Thanksgiving, so you had a lot more families that were off from school and work. But also at the same time, you have to take into account the fact that it already has made so much money overseas that it's going to break even and make profit. What are you doing? She's staring at me like, excuse me, I'm the star. You're right. How could have I doubted you? But anyway, let us see. Sasha Neon says, like the impeachment, I expect episode 9 to be a complete shift show. I see what you did there, Slicer. Super Anime Gamer says, 2 more, then I'll shut up. Do you follow James Mangold on Twitter? He's been posting beautiful Ford v Ferrari photos lately. Also, what are some movies you want to own but don't? So I have not been following him on Twitter, but Ford v Ferrari is a great film. I really want that film to do better because it does need to make some more money if it wants to break even, at least based on the numbers we have. I've made videos on the fact that it likely did have some promotional deals with Coca-Cola and other companies to where it doesn't have to make as much as other films might need to. However, that being said, I'd much rather that film do better because it's a great film and I think it deserves to be seen. As far as films that I want to own but don't own, as far as classics go, I pretty much own most of the things that I would like to own. I can't really think of any off the top of my head, though. I'm sure if people start mentioning stuff, I'd be like, oh yeah, that would be one. Let's see. Legit36 says, have you seen the Harley Quinn cartoon? It's actually quite hilarious in my opinion. No, where is that? Where is that being played? Hardwick says, Billy D. Williams also recently said, and then you retracted the comments. Don't retract the comments, man. If you have a misspelling, I'll be able to work it through. Louis Talian says, have you seen Marriage Story? If so, what are your thoughts on it? I have not seen Marriage Story yet. I just found out that it's on. Hi. Yeah, she's not a lap dog, but she likes to think that she is one. And, hey, do you see yourself in the camera? Do you see yourself on screen? Who's that? Oh, you keep me young. Oh, are you done? No? Oh, you're just trying to reposition yourself? Okay. All right. But no, Lewis, I have not seen Marriage Story yet. I have had kind of my reservations about it because of the fact that it seems to not necessarily promote divorce, but at least normalize it. And as a Catholic school teacher and as a practicing Catholic, I just don't want to support it. But now that I found out it's on Netflix and I already have it because my wife's making us keep Netflix, then I think I might try and watch it then. River literally taking over the stream. Lewis also says, are you interested in seeing 1917? The cinematography looks great. Yes. It's on one of my most anticipated. It's pretty much the only, other than I guess Jumanji 2 would be one of my most anticipated films left of 2019. So yes, cannot wait for it, mostly because of the cinematography, but also the fact that it's the same director behind Skyfall. I'm very excited for it. Grandmaster says, if the show media ever claim with Men leads the box office flop, just how much Joker made and what Charlie's Angels made. Oh, that White Men leads the box office flop. Well, anytime anyone says anything about white men this or even women that, it's usually hogwash. Good movies make money. Tend to make money. I need to take that back because there have been some good movies in the past. Like for me, Blade Runner 2049 was a great film. That film didn't make any money. Really? What are you doing? The lap is not big enough for you to make yourself a ball. Okay? What are you trying to do here? What are you trying to do here, huh? She's just staring at me like, what, Todd? I own this. This is my channel. I own this channel now. It's mine. But yes, I agree. Nonsense. Bruce says, hi, Odin. I've not asked a question yet. I just want to shout out. Bruce! I've shouted you out a couple times already, actually. Hyman says, I think you should list Parasite as the most unseen movies of 2019. Just kidding. Oh, no. It is definitely one of the least seen films of 2019. And also, that's a film I would love to own, but don't own yet because I don't think it's on sale yet. All right, River has left. Hardwick says, Billy D. Williams recently said, to me, I'm Lando. Criticized the idea of Lando being pansexual and said that he thought Glover's hairstyle in Solo didn't fit Lando. Sounds to me like he's speaking some truth. He's speaking some truth. It's on the DC Universe app, says Legit36. Okay, I don't have that. Alice Carly says, Harley Quinn cartoon DC app. A lot of F words. Greta says, I remember when River used to be camera shy. I know, right? And now she just loves the camera. Sasha Neons, don't look for Harley Quinn. Nonstop swearing and several woke takes. First line is saying white people love stealing from the poor. Oh, yeah. No, thank you. No, thank you. Laura says, the music in Harriet was beautiful. Nice. Very cool. Now River's trying to get back up. Superfan Adam Shawhan says, this the River Show now. Adam Shawhan, where you been, man? Father Christopher Miller, I don't know if you got my message earlier, but you're present for Christmas. You know what I'm talking about. It is done. So message me on Twitter if you haven't done so already. In fact, let me double check. Yeah, Father, message me on Twitter where I can send you the gift. Please let me know. Naughty or Nice Productions says, did you see the trailer for No Time to Die? Really not interested in it. I have seen it, and for the most part, it's pretty exciting. However, with all of the behind-the-scenes stuff we've been hearing about it and all the commentary and all the promotion for it, yeah, I'm not that excited to see it either. So it wasn't the trailer, though. The trailer actually was pretty well made. Bruce says, I've been in and out. Sorry I missed it. No problem, man. No problem at all. Tina says, Friday Night Tights showed Daniel Craig dressed in drag to promote equal pay. He can stuff his James Bond movie. Another franchise ruined, says Tina. Yeah, those are not new either. I know that he's dressed in he's dressed in drag before, or it's the same one, just now it's being figured out. Tech Guy says, I'm worried, though, what people can make horrible SJW movies like Charlie's Angels and Fall Forward, getting to helm more movies to ruin. Yeah, Tech Guy, I have no idea how Elizabeth Banks has now been pegged to direct another film. When you have a film on your hands that costs so little to make and is going to lose you around $30 million, I'm sorry, but no, you don't reward that. You don't reward someone that's making crappy films that aren't even just woke, but also just not good movies. The fact that no one saw it is a pretty good indicator of that. And also, of course, all the commentary that's been made in the reviews. Adam Shawhan says, always here, just been on TVs, which has no chat. Gotcha, super fan. Adam Shawhan. And Harvick says, Daniel Craig himself is the one who decided to bring in Phoebe Waller-Bridge to write the script. Yeah, that's upsetting. Greta Zenner says, if I didn't know about what they were going to do with Lashana Lynch's character, I'd say No Time to Die looks pretty good. Yeah, seriously. The more that we find out about it, though, in the behind-the-scenes stuff, yes, I would agree. That's the reason why it doesn't matter how good the trailer is. We know too much already. Glenzer says, any SJW movie fan who cares to criticize something for being too white will be super triggered by the AFI Top 100. You're probably right about that. All right, jumping over to D-Live. Let's see here. Phonemo says, do you think Disney will release The Mandalorian on Blu-ray? Just wondering, since I was going to buy it used to watch it. At some point, but it's going to be one of those vault situations where it probably will not be readily available. Captain Poppyton says, what are your thoughts on the Grudge remake? They're remaking the Grudge? No, thank you. And Captain Mr. Roy says, we need a River GIF added to the D-Live channel. Well, if one of y'all can take the image of her on the channel and turn it into a gift, send it my way via email, and I'll get it going. I will get that bad boy going. All right, so we are just about at time. And so what I'm going to do now, because of the generosity of JJ, I've got one 4K copy. And one regular Blu-ray of Joker to give away to the general chat. This is going to be a YouTube exclusive. So sorry to my D-Live folks, but I'll take care of y'all a little bit later with the chest. But we're going to go ahead and do a giveaway. So let me see if I can remember how to do this. So this is going to be for regulars only. So you have to have at least 2 hours of watch time, which is not all that much when you think about some of the other people who have been on this channel for a long time now. So at least 2 hours of watch time. So check your cookies now. It'll tell you how many hours you have and how many cookies you have as well. So let's see. We want to do a giveaway. This one, we'll make it 100 cookies per ticket. 100 tickets max. And it's going to be for Joker. So the first winner will receive Joker on 4K. So the first winner will receive Joker on 4K. The second winner will receive it on regular Blu-ray. And so let's go ahead and get that started right now. So if you want to enter into the contest, you need to put in enter, ! A space, and then the number of tickets you want to buy. The max tickets you can get is 100. Each ticket costs 100 cookies. So you need to have at least 100 cookies to enter in for one ticket. So CWD Trixie did it right. He put enter ! 100 because he has enough cookies to put in for that. Again, you have to be a regular on the channel, at least 2 hours of watch time if you wish to enter in to it. If you enter into it and you do not have the hours, someone else will be chosen. So I've got CWD Trixie in for 100, Alex McCarthy in for 100, Greta for 100, Laura, Ryan stole my fanfiction story for 70, Aiden Vickery, I got you in for 25. If you try and put in more cookies than you have, it will not work. Again, if you try and put in more cookies than what you have, it will not work. So make sure you double check. I will read off the ones that I have, though, so if you don't hear your name, then you're doing something wrong. Niggle Noodles, I got you for 100. Tina, I got you for 50. Teresa Martin, I got you for 40. HyperNext13, I got you for 100. Captain Poppy 10, I would agree with you. Frank the Clan, I got you for 50. Super Anime Gamer, I got you for 75. Soul Assassin, I got you for 50. Dion, I got you for 100. 70B, I got you for 100 as well. So it's for both Slicer Neon. So all of the entries here will be taken into account for the winner. The first prize, so the first person that gets chosen will get the 4K of Joker. 4K of Joker. Again, it's going to be a pre-order through Amazon, which means it'll ship out to you on January 7th. The second winner will get the Blu-ray copy. All right. Bruce, I got you for that 100. Slicer, I got you for 90. So again, make sure you're entering it in correctly. Make sure you are entering it in correctly. I see some people are not entering it in correctly or don't have the ability to add in the ones they want. So I will read it off one more time. So again, shout out to JJ for offering these movies so that way we can give them away. So once again, I've got CW Trixie in for 100 tickets, Alex McCarthy in for 100 tickets, Greta for 100, Laura for 70, Aiden Vickery for 25, Niggle Noodles for 100, Tina B for 50, Teresa Martin 40, Hypern X13 100, Frank and the Clan for 50, Super Anime Gamer for 75, Soul Assassin for 50, Dion for 100, Stephanie B for 100, Bruce for 100, and Slicer Neons for 100. Again, this is all digital. Remember, it costs 100 cookies per ticket. If you put in more tickets than what you can afford, it will not list anything for you. All right? So put in, I would say, a smaller amount first. Make sure that you get entered in. Then try and just put in the 100 right away because a lot of y'all can't afford the 100. Okay? Okay. All right. And if you have to stay in the chat, it's the 4K and the Blu-ray. Bruce, it's a 4K copy is the first winner, and the Blu-ray copy gets the second winner. Hardwick, I got you in for 20. There we go. Again, Hardwick, I got you in for 20. Because I think you were trying to put in a number that you could not put in before. So again, the first winner gets the 4K. Keep in mind, the 4K comes with a Blu-ray copy as well. So if you don't have a 4K player, every 4K now comes with either a Blu-ray copy too or a digital copy. So you'll be able to watch, even if you don't have a 4K player, you will be able to watch the movie in some capacity. Also, remember, if you are overseas, the digital copy might not work and the movie might not work either. But of course, if you're from overseas and you win, we'll figure it out. I might have to buy it from your store, and again, we'll cross that barrier once we get to it. Cobra Viber 999, I got you for 50. Rhaegar Targaryen, I got you in for 100. All right, so we are, and I'll just double check that again. So the 4K edition I see right here. The 4K edition, according to Amazon's release, it comes with the 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray, a regular Blu-ray, and a digital code. So you get 3 different ways of watching Joker if you win the 4K copy. The second prize is the Blu-ray. All right, the second prize is just the Blu-ray. All right, we're about to end this chat, or end the giveaway. I think I've given everyone ample time to figure out how to make this work. All right, so we are once, twice, closed. All right, the giveaway is closed. No more entries will be allowed. No more entries will be allowed. No more entries will be allowed. All right. So once again, shout out to JJ for allowing this giveaway to happen. The first winner. This is the winner of the 4K combo pack. Let me put it that way. That way everyone will be like, okay, I get what it is now. For the 4K combo pack. The winner of the 4K combo pack is Laura. Ryan stole my fan fiction story. Laura, claim your prize. Claim your prize. Laura, claim your prize. Claim your prize. Is she still here? She should be. There's no reason why she shouldn't be here, but you never know. You never know. Boom, Laura, there she is. Yes, indeed. Congratulations. You know what you got to do. I think I have your address, maybe. But just message me, DM me over Twitter or email, whichever you would prefer. And well, you get the 4K. You get the 4K. I don't have the digital code to give away. I'm just pre-ordering it for you, and they don't just sell the digital copy either. So you win the 4K though. I'm assuming you claim it. You can give away the 4K. I just want the digital code. Well, I'm not giving away the digital code. I'm giving away a 4K copy and then a Blu-ray copy. They come with digital codes, but yeah, I don't have the digital codes to give away. So unless you want to take the 4K and so yes, please, you want it? Just say, I want it or I don't want it. Then we'll know. Then I'll know. Me and my thick skull, I'll be able to figure it. I'll be able to figure it out. Yes, Laura says, okay, cool. All right, so Laura, you know what to do. Just message me and let me know where I'm sending it to, because I'll be pre-ordering it through Amazon, and then it'll send to you on the 7th. All right, so, and the second winner, the winner of, yes, cool. Boom, Laura, congratulations, you got it. The second winner, the winner of the Blu-ray. The winner of the Blu-ray, which also comes with a copy, comes with a digital copy as well. The winner of the Blu-ray is Stephanie B. Stephanie B. Claim your prize. Claim your prize, Stephanie B. Claim your prize. Claim your prize. Yes, I have a very thick skull, Tina. This is a fact. It's a fact of life. A fact of life. I see we have 3 dislikes. Wow. I have a feeling I might know who those dislikes are. All right, Laura's being generous in the chat. That's why I love this community. Love this community being very generous. All right, so 70B, do you claim the prize? Now my Valkyrie's disappeared? Now my general has disappeared? What is going on tonight? What is going on? 70B, you won. We have 4 dislikes now. Really? Yes, 70B, you won the Blu-ray. You won the standard Blu-ray, dude. Congratulations, Stephanie B. I'm a beat behind. Okay, yeah. I hear you. Now it's back to 3. Okay, someone must have been trolling. Boom, 70B. You've got it. So 70B, you know how to contact me as well. I'm pretty sure. So ever since I started using stamps.com, whenever I use an address, it actually saves the information there. I didn't know it did that, but it does. So I think I still have yours, but let's just confirm that way in case an address has changed or anything like that. Just let me know where I'm sending it. So congratulations. Thanks, JJ, for letting me give away those copies. I gave away 2 other copies of Joker over on my Subscribestar and Patreon pages. So if you want to be eligible for exclusive giveaways over there, where it's less people more likely to win, I think Laura has won at least 3 or 4 movies since she's been a member over there. Go become a Patreon supporter or a Subscribestar supporter. If you had to pick one, I would recommend Subscribestar because you become a member immediately. You don't have to wait until the beginning of the month to become a member for that month. But also, too, I can actually do the giveaways directly over on Subscribestar. If you are on Patreon, if you are a $5 up member on Patreon, I can't do any direct giveaways on the Patreon page. And so you have to technically enter in the Discord, and then I give you a special access to a specific area on Discord for giveaways specifically. It's this whole rigmarole, but it's the only way that I can keep on doing giveaways for my $5 and up backers, which is just why Subscribestar is so much easier. But if you want to be eligible for more of those kinds of giveaways, if you like giveaways and like to be able to win stuff, I'll be doing some more giveaways very soon because I have a crap ton of digital codes, thanks to Jace Doe, to be given away. And I still have a couple people that need to contact me over on Subscribestar as well. So check the feed on Subscribestar to see if you've won recently, so that way I can hook you up with your prizes. So again, shout out to JJ. Thank you so much for your amazing generosity. And everyone that's been here tonight, thank you so much. Thanks to everyone that super chatted, everyone that chatted in general. Again, huge shout out to my loves over on DLive, of course. DLive fam, don't worry. You know, I'll take care of you guys. I will take care of y'all very, very soon. But speaking of those people, let me go ahead and shout out my December Subscribestar members first. I'll switch it up this time. So a huge shout out to Larry, Mr. Roy, Glinzer, G2 Cool 99, Darkstar 57, Alex McCarthy, US 888209 Fast, Dean Heiss, Harold Francis, J-Rod the Beer Guru, Nevanon G Adams, and ZK Man. Thank you so much for being my Subscribestar members. You are awesome, amazing, and beautiful people. And also a huge shout out to my Patreon supporters. And Dion, don't tell anyone because I can't keep track of that. So you are like the exception to that rule. So don't tell anyone about that. That's why I include you in my list. But for all intents and purposes, you are a Patreon supporter. A huge shout out to my December patrons. And let me just make sure that I've got everyone here, because sometimes it takes people off if, all right, let's see. Animation commentator, Brian P., Elizabeth M., Enrique Evangelista, Fan Addicts of Film, Father Christopher Miller, Hail Father, Frank the Tank and the Shaheen Wiener Dog Clan, Harold Francis, The Hunky Chunky Funky Monkey, Inflamed Wood, It's a Trap Productions, Dion, Jay Clark, Jeffrey Toon, JJ Jonathan Jerembeck, Lady T, Mad Mitch Dunaway, Mr. Peabody and his evil twin, Orange Hat Reviews, Outpost Dyer, Patrick Layden, Perpetual Punster, Reef Magos, Rosetta Allen, The DJD Show, Theodore Bendon, and those two ball guys, and also because they are not listed here right now, but they should be because Patreon is not very good at allowing me to have access to this information, and why is it that I can't find it, and oh my goodness, how am I going to find it? Notifications, that's where I need to go. US Dutch Kitty as well. Thank you all for being amazing and beautiful people. I love you guys so very much. Super says, thanks for hosting another great stream, Odin. Hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend. Thank you very much. I really do appreciate that. And yeah, I hope that you enjoyed. Slicer Neon says, check out the SNL parody of Joker with Sheriff Hopper as Oscar the Grouch. I have seen it, Slicer. It is brilliant. Congratulations to everyone that won tonight. Congratulations to everyone that is just here tonight, because I'm having fun. I hope you're having fun as well. Much love to this community. Seriously, for everyone that had my back this week, whether it was all of the YouTube crap with the unlisting and relisting, etc., or whether it was all the crap going on Twitter with random psychotic people, thank you so much for having my back. It really does mean a lot to me. I got to give a huge shout out to people like Jeremy at Geeks and Gamers, because that dude always has my back whenever crazy stuff happens. Also, a huge shout out to Gary Nadrotic, because he stepped up when another YouTuber who was of the mundane variety decided to go after me for being a Christian. It was really amazing of all those people to step, and so many other people too stepped up this week. And so hopefully we can try and leave all that crap in the past, all that drama where it belongs, I hope. But yeah, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. And yeah, you guys are freaking awesome. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. D-Live people, you stick around. I'm about to take care of y'all in a second. Have a wonderful evening. And as always, God bless. All right. See you guys later.